Hi there. Good afternoon. How are you? I hope you are feeling well. I hope you are in good spirits. Hello, I'm Luke. It is great that you're here. Thank you so much for joining me as ever. I do this every time, don't I? Sort of introduce myself as if you don't know who I am and you've never heard of me, but someone might. And I think that's important, for me to go through that every single time. So I'm Luke, I'm an author, and I broadcast every week or almost every week to talk to you about what I'm working on, what I'm doing, what's my next thing coming up, and all those sorts of things. So that's what I'm doing here. Hello, how are you? And you can see my books on the shelf up here behind me. I've actually had Kathmandu, this one, my first novel. I've actually had the cover tweaked slightly. You can see it's ever so slightly different. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with it. So as you may know, over the last few weeks, I've been sort of editing, retweaking Kathmandu and Hong Kong, these first two in the series, so that they're all really smart, really tidy. I'm absolutely pleased with them for when New York comes out. And that is looking as though it's going to be December, which I'm very pleased with, the idea that it will come out in December. There's a bit to do. I'm doing sort of my final edit. It will then go off to the editor who will do their work, and then I'll have to go through it one more time before it comes through. So it's still a few more weeks sort of work to do, but yeah, I'm excited by it. I'm really pleased with it. It's sounding good, and I cannot wait to share it with you. You will know, if you were on my mailing list or you are on my mailing list, you'll know that I have shared the cover with people on that mailing list. So I'm going to do that with you now. Book covers are so important, aren't they? They always say that old adage about judging a book by its cover and all that sort of business, but people do, and they should, because I've got to put some time and some money and some effort into that for you to actually put some time and some money into effort into reading it. So I really do, and I'm really pleased with this one. What do you think? So I've gone for a different color for each of them. I wanted sort of a different color, so they're all slightly different. As you're able to see, it's covered up them on the shelf behind me there. I wanted it to look menacing. I wanted it to look scary, and my cover designer, I think, has done a fantastic job. I'm really pleased with it. Let me know what you reckon. What do you think? I'm going to read the blurb for you again now, and then I'm going to share a couple of reviews that have been left this week, as I normally do, to be fair. So, a serial killer stalks the streets. The city lives in fear. The winter of terror is here. Heading to New York for a much-needed holiday, Andy and Emma hope some quality time will put their relationship back on track. But when Andy's car is wrecked in the Lincoln Tunnel and he's nowhere to be seen, it's clear the city that never sleeps has other plans. Teaming up with New York P.I, Niki Zadid, Leo and Allissa search the city. But this isn't just any normal case. Leo knew his sister Emma and her husband were having problems before and feels like he should have done more. When their investigation entangles with the plans of an unhinged killer, things become more complex and dangerous than any had imagined. The trio must navigate the city from its elite hangouts to its dingy back streets on the trail of a missing man and a murderer with a sickening endgame in mind. New York is Luke Richardson's fifth fiery international thriller. Grab your copy to continue this series today. There we go. I'm really pleased with how it's coming out. As I said already, I'm very excited to share this one with you. In advance of that, as I said to my, if you're on my mailing list, you'll know this. In advance of that, I'm trying to get as many reviews on those previous books as possible. Now, reviews are really important because new readers look at them and they show, this writer's doing all right. I'll take a chance on this writer's work because he's sort of putting the effort in. So they're really important for that. I'm sure most of you will have reviewed my books as far and as wide as physically possible. If for some reason one of them slipped through, you think, oh, I've got to go and do that, please do. It does make a massive difference. For one reason or another, Kathmandu and Hong Kong have done really well on reviews in terms of the number of reviews they've got. Berlin and Koh Tao are a little bit behind because I suppose they're newer, aren't they? They've not been out quite as long. So if you haven't reviewed those books and you've read them, do that would mean so much to me. It's so important. You can do that on Amazon, of course, but it's also on other stores: Kobo, Barnes and Noble, Waterstones, all of these sorts of things, and Goodreads as well. It's very important too. So wherever reviews can be left, if you can do that, I would massively appreciate it. Now, I got an email from a lady who'd read my book, so I'm going to read part of that today because I absolutely loved it. It really made me pleased. And I love this sort of contact that I get with you guys, because I sit in this room so often typing into this computer, thinking up ideas, and then sort of send it out. And when I get that information coming the other way, it really is yeah, I love it. It's so important to me. So thank you for that in advance. And I just wanted to share this bit with you. I also love traveling, as I can very much tell you do from the descriptions you give of the places in your books. When I saw Kathmandu, I knew this would be my kind of book, and I certainly wasn't disappointed. My husband and I actually met one another in Hong Kong whilst we were both traveling, so the descriptions of the Star Ferry and Nathan Road brought back some memories. We're also due to go to Nepal this October to trek in the Himalayas, which I've never done, and I really want to. When I went to Kathmandu, I was just sort of traveling through, so I only spent 3 or 4 days there. But I'd love to go and trek up into the Himalayas from there. But for now, I'll just have to settle for the descriptions and the events in your book from my armchair. Having travelled a fair bit in Asia, I could absolutely imagine the heat, the dust, the traffic, and the smells of Kathmandu as I read. Not sure I'll be trying the special lamb when we manage to get there, though. No, I wouldn't recommend that. If you've read the book, you know exactly what we're talking about. And this is one of the reviews. This is the review she left for Kathmandu. Where is it? Here it is. Being an avid traveller myself, I was interested to read the first book in this series. You can tell Luke Richardson clearly has a love of travelling, has experienced many cities in Asia. His descriptions are vivid and accurate from my experience, and really help to create a sense the hustle and bustle of the traffic and people and the continuous dust whilst in an Asian city. This is the first in the series of the Leo Keane books. We're first introduced to Leo, who lives alone in Brighton, working as a journalist for a local newspaper. We find him reflecting on the fact when he first left university to embark on the career as a journalist, he had such high hopes and expectations, but sadly not for the position he finds himself in now. We learn he's also been searching for his missing partner Maya, who disappeared 2 years ago whilst they were travelling in Thailand. He has an online missing persons website he set up, and although he has no clear leads to finding Maya, he's approached by a wealthy politician to find his daughter Allissa, who is believed to be in Kathmandu. For this reason, Leo then finds himself sent out to Nepal in order to find this missing daughter and report back to her father of her safety. However, on arrival, he finds himself mixed among the world of the travellers, which not only helps to bring leads to the whereabouts of Allissa, but also other revelations of people, places, and events he was not expecting. What a great phrase. I love that. This book had me gripped from the beginning and throughout, with great descriptions of places and events in Kathmandu. I thought the characters were well portrayed and the events described kept you wanting more. I would definitely recommend this book if you're a fan of thrillers, but also love to travel and read descriptions of places and people traveling. I now can't wait to read the second book in the series, Hong Kong. There we go. I love that. I love to hear what people think of my writing. I love to sort of share the excitement of that story again. So as I say, if you haven't left any of them, I'd absolutely love to. Or if I've never featured your review on my Facebook Lives or my YouTube Live or my live here on Twitter, do that. Send that over to me. Tag me in that, because it's nice to share them. It helps me share them. I really enjoy reading through them. Right. Thank you so much for your company today. I always enjoy sharing sort of a little snippet of my writing process with you. As I say, that way, there it is. New York will be with you in December. I'm finishing it off at the moment. If you get yourself on my mailing list, you will get a link to order to do the pre-order in the next week or so. Okay, so that'll be one of the first. You'll be one of the first people to find out about it right there. Looking forward to sharing it. Thanks so much. I will speak to you again soon.